I want to give you a voice today and talk about your experiences working with the YEEHAAA program. What personal experiences did you have while participating in the YEEHAAA program that would help you in the future?
For me, I love animals a lot, and so having to actually get to see one up close and get to interact with them, it helps me become a lot more comfortable with animals in general, with horses. So that'd be something I'd love to use in the future.
I think patience had to do a lot with it, because you had to be really patient with the horses, and I think in the future, patience will be a really big thing.
How did the YEEHAAA program give you an opportunity to express your inner self?
I mean, it's a class where it's a whole program where it's therapeutic, and you want to make sure you're in your comfort zone in that kind of situation. There are points where you can step out of your comfort zone, but I felt like it was very therapeutic because it was almost calming, and it teaches you a lot about patience and a lot about just going with the flow sometimes.
I thought that it was very comfortable because I felt really comfortable there.
What examples or suggestions can you give a classmate thinking of enrolling in the YEEHAAA program?
I'd say if you love animals and if you're going through a hard time, and if you're willing to be nice to others and willing to cooperate with others, then definitely go to this class, because it can teach you a lot, and it can really help you feel more comfortable, and you can really interact with other people, and it's a lot about having fun too.
You get to interact with the people, and you can be yourself around them, and with the horses you can express yourself with them, and it's like they understand you, and it really makes you feel okay.
How does YEEHAAA program promote anti- and suicide prevention, and how is it presented in your portfolio?
With anti-suicide, it can at least help you realize that you're not alone in a lot of struggles, and you can also tell that a lot of other people and maybe a lot of other animals are facing hardships, and if your situation maybe isn't as bad as theirs, it can show you that you should be really thankful about what you have in your life. And for anti-bullying, as long as the people that you're working with are very accepting, very kind, and won't really try to ridicule you for your traits or stuff like that, then you can get along in that class and work well, and you can spread that message throughout as well. And my portfolio will show it as it goes along, with people connecting together, having fun together, and people connecting with the horses together.
Mine was the same with the portfolio, because it showed how they were comfortable with their horses and what they use their horses with. And I feel with the suicide thing, if you have a lot going on, you're able to speak to the horses, and that can relieve stuff off your chest.
What experiences did you have while participating in the YEEHAAA program that would help you in the future?
I was able to experience something that was completely unique, something that you would not be able to experience in your normal school setting. And from it, I learned a lot of skills, especially patience, because you definitely have to have patience with a being that does not express itself through words, because we learn a lot of how to, I'm in a peer mediation class, and I learn a lot about how to express myself to other, human beings, people that can talk to me. I know how to use my words, but then to learn how to use your body language is a whole other thing. And so I learned a lot of how to control my body language and how to be able to speak to something that doesn't really speak back. And so I learned a lot of patience, definitely, and I also learned, I learned a lot more consideration, because sometimes, we have experiences where we need to be considerate only when people are expressing themselves through words. So if someone says, hey, I'm not okay, then it's like, oh, they're really not okay, we should talk to them. But with body language, it's a whole other thing, because you need to learn how to read it and how to respond to it using your own body language. It's a whole other kind of language. It's not like your usual typical English that I'm speaking now. It's something you have to really be able to express through your body. And with the horses, you have to learn how to express that. You have to know and how to read it as well. When they're saying no, they express it through their body, and you need to know how to read that. And so those were just it was little lessons like that I was able to learn.
How did the YEEHAAA program give you an opportunity to express your inner self?
Well, I was in an environment that I'm not typically in. So, I have my school environment where it's you come into class, you sit in rows of, chairs with the other kids around you. You look at a board and that's how you learn, or you interact with a lab where you're working with certain things. And then you have your work environment where it's just it's a professional, very kind of strict, demanding environment because it's your job. But I was in an environment that was completely different. I was in a free, open environment where I felt spiritually very open and free, because I didn't feel like I was being demanded of anything. And so it was really, I was able to really open up and to feel like I could express myself through all these activities that we had planned. Even just speaking with the horse, I felt like I could completely be expressive and not face any consequences for talking or consequences for being able to be a little wild or be a little free or feel connected. And so it was just, I was given so many opportunities to feel completely expressive and to really feel bonded to the horses, and also to my classmates that I was spending a lot of time with, because these activities, they really helped you express yourself and learn how to take charge, but not in a very demanding way, as in I'm the person who's above and then everyone else is below in that moment. No, you learn how to be a leader in a group, as in the group learned how to lead together. And so I was really able to learn how to express myself through a group where we all felt equal, and we all had a similar platform, where they're not in the sense that we all had a platform that was exactly the same size, but that we had our needs were really met, as in we would encourage each other. There would be some kids who really didn't want to talk, and we would all encourage them, give them a bigger platform in order to really lift them up and help them express themselves. And so it was through all of these things where we had these uplifting experiences, and then also the horses would encourage us to express ourselves. And so through all of that, we really just learned how to be expressive through our body language, through our language in general, and it was just so many opportunities. It was so awesome.
What examples or suggestions can you give a classmate thinking of enrolling into the YEEHAAA program?
Just do it. Because it is such an incredible experience. I mean, people, when I would explain what this class was, people would be like, oh, you get to work with horses. But it's so much more than that, you get to get out of your regular day school environment. People don't understand how amazing that can be, how that can really transform the interactions that you have with your everyday school life, I mean, even with the teacher, with Miss Armstrong, I totally grew so close to her, through all of these experiences. I felt like that was a class that I could be open in. And, through this, you really learn how to be expressive. You learn how to feel open. You learn how to know, how to bond with others in a way that can really last a long time. It's you learn skills from this that you're not going to be able to learn from just your everyday sit in a room kind of, very normal regulated class. This is an incredible experience, and I would definitely not pass it up. I mean, if you are on the brink about it, just throw yourself over the edge and go for it, because it is so amazing and you won't regret it at all. I mean, this is definitely an experience that I know from what I know, no other schools are offered it right now, right? Exactly. So it's like, for this to be introduced and for no other kid to ever know, like, you know, like, not everyone to have this opportunity, take that opportunity, because this is truly so unique and such an amazing experience that, like, is new and fresh, and, you know, you're getting out and really experiencing something that you wouldn't experience in your everyday life. And, you know, like, there's people who don't even when they have that downtime, they don't get to go out enough. And so it's like, you have this designated time with school that you get to go and really spend some open quality time with nature, with, you know, the horses, with other people, and not have these demands that really make you feel clustered. You know, you can really just feel like you have that freedom and you have that time to just evolve and to be able to be open and not have to worry about any repercussions from it. And so, yes, my advice is just absolutely go for it. It is so incredible. You won't regret it at all.